So, discussing my experiences here at Montevallo hasn't been like the most drastic kind of like into like interaction with the paranormal,
Mhm.
but I would have to say that the most paranormal experience for me is the land and town of Montevallo itself. Um, for me, what I'm more acquainted with is like the new trending lure for Montevallo within like the magic community here, or like when I mean magic, I mean not like Magic the Gathering. I mean like witches
Mhm.
and pagans, but define. And Magic the Gathering, they might have their own lore. Who knows?
Oh.
But it's understanding the reason why certain people are attracted to the land here. Um, for me, a recurring story is that supposedly, way back in the day when the town was just getting to be settled and the wilderness tamed, that there was a witch that lived here in the community, and the settlers came in soon after her and disrupted her peace, as well as the natives. And so, as a curse, she planted a seed. Some speculate right where Maine is sitting. Some's like in the general area, maybe King's Quad. Um, but wherever they had planted that seed, it began to um, demonstrate certain characteristics. The one major characteristic is the type of people that move into this town. You can see on this campus there's a large following of pagans, a large following of paranormal, interactive individuals such as like witches, psychics, um, some new agey people, and other sorts of people that can fit into that category. It's just a large amount of us naturally attracted. A second phenomenon that comes with this area is the large attraction of people with depression and likelihood of suicidal ideation and just emotional distress.
Mhm.
And then also, the third element is, well, I guess these are elements of people that come here, is strangely people who don't quite fit into the normativity of um, Alabama's general towns. This would be like, people who are LGBT or identify as queer, non-binary, trans, and so forth, gay. And that also includes, just odd characters, people with very different belief systems than the normativity here. Um, on top of that, there is elements of particular and peculiar behavior. Like, it's said that every year on the campus, someone dies. A lot of times it's through suicide, and a lot of times it's just pure happenstance. But generally, one person each year dies. And part of the lore is that the seed, the curse, requires blood. And as long as there's blood to the seed, the town still thrives, but at the cost of sacrificing. And there's several strange mishaps that happen on this campus. Like, once, supposedly, there were workers on the roof, and they just all mysteriously fell and died. And then there was one sorority where just a group of them were walking, or it was either a group or over time, a particular spot over near the medical side, the medical wing of Maine. These particular sorority girls would just fall over dead through mysterious like health issues, and also there's a whole issue with like haunting the place, um, and just accidents, suicides, just people just falling left and right each year, at least one. The max I've seen is probably 3. And it's just, as in the 4 years that I've been here, it's been consistent. There's been someone each year just falling. But, it could be just statistics, no one knows. I know definitely as a spiritual worker here, the land possesses a different type of energy. I don't quite know how to describe it, but I can very much so distinguish it between, like, my hometown in Fairview in Coleman, Alabama. Very different. Some think it's because Montevallo sits on a ley line, and some attribute it to the seed theory. But either way, particular and peculiar people gather here. And not only that, peculiar hauntings and possessions and invocations and such happen here. I know one story that was shared to me was that there's like a cultic secret in amongst Greenside that Palmer got haunted once by some entity. It was during what we call Snowmageddon, which was a couple years back when this blanket of snow randomly just covered all over Alabama and put everyone to hell. And in with the northern wind flew something that came into Palmer, wreaking havoc, destroying things, making chandeliers fall down randomly, part of the building catching on fire, people almost getting to like close to death experiences. And the issue got so bad that the campus literally called in a rabbi who supposedly came in and did a ritual and locked whatever the creature was up into a little bowl, and they buried it into the basement of Palmer. To this day, we as students are not able to go to the basement of Palmer. And regularly, Greenside members have to sage and cleanse the building each year to remove the negative energies that still linger from the creature being trapped there. Supposedly, when you get down to the basement, there's a door, and this door is super locked, and then you go into the room where the floor has been concreted over, and that's to stop any student from digging the bowl up. And then there's also a rumor, another experience that I haven't had, but a friend's had, with King House that was particularly interesting. He was walking by it one day, and the door of King's house just slammed wide open late at night. I'm assuming it was probably like 12 to 1 in the morning. Nobody's around. And he could hear like a voice or something like drawing him in. But he knew better. You know, he's of African descent. And King has historically been known to be racist, you know, in his time. And so because of that, he yeeted and ran. Yeeted himself out of the scenario. Other happenings have led other people to speculate that there's not only the spirit of King in that house, but something greater, an eviler force, lives at least in the spot that even keeps King himself at bay. But, you know, with all these mysteries that go along in Montevallo, these wild happen chances and experiences, I do venture to tell someone to come and experience it themselves. Whether it be like the energy of the land to the haunts and spooks and the terrors that come at night.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.